He wrote by candlelight, in a language no one truly understood. Line after line, he described wars, disasters, and deaths of kings, centuries before they ever happened. Some called him a prophet, others, a heretic. But one question still lingers through time. How could a man from the 1500s see the future with such terrifying accuracy? Michel de Nostredame, better known as Nostradamus, was born in December 1503 in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, France. He lived during an era of darkness, plagues, wars, and religious conflict. But unlike most men of his time, Nostradamus was educated in medicine, astrology, and mathematics. After losing his wife and children to the plague, something in him changed. He abandoned the path of science and turned to the stars. Night after night, he would lock himself in a candlelit study, scribbling cryptic verses hidden in riddles and symbols. He called them les Prophecies, the Prophecies. Published in 1555, his book contained hundreds of quatrains, 4-line poems, written in a blend of French, Latin, Greek, and Occitan. No one could fully decipher them, but those who tried would claim they saw glimpses of the future, from the rise of dictators to the fall of empires. Centuries later, the words of Nostradamus would echo again, in the age of machines, war, and chaos. In the year 1559, Nostradamus wrote of a young lion who shall overcome the older one, in combat within a golden cage, and pierce his eye through a golden cage. 40 years later, King Henry II of France, known as the Lion of France, died in a jousting accident. His opponent's lance pierced through the king's helmet and straight into his eye. The prophecy fit almost perfectly. He shall rise from the depths of Western Europe, one of low birth, whose tongue shall command great armies. Historians later linked this line to Adolf Hitler, a failed artist from Austria who rose to power and brought Europe into war. Nostradamus even used a word resembling Hister, an ancient name for the Danube River, but eerily close to Hitler. Coincidence or foresight? Then came World War II, the Great Fire of London, the French Revolution, and even the assassination of John F. Kennedy, all believed by followers to be hidden in his verses. Some prophecies were vague, yes, but others felt too precise to ignore. The twin brothers torn apart by chaos. The fortress endures. The great leader will succumb. Many interpret this as a reference to the 9/11 attacks. 2 towers, a symbol of strength, torn apart by fire and steel. And yet Nostradamus had written it centuries before the modern world even existed. Each time humanity falls into disaster, his name resurfaces, as if he's still whispering through the pages of time. From the ashes of one great conflict, another shall rise. The great nation of the West shall fall, and from the East, a fire shall burn for 1,000 years. Many believe Nostradamus foresaw a global conflict between East and West, perhaps even the spark of World War III. His writings mention a time of iron birds, burning skies, and cities devoured by flame. Others claim he predicted climate collapse, the melting of ice caps, endless droughts, and the poisoning of the oceans. The earth shall grow hotter, the waters shall rise, and mankind shall turn on itself. But not all his visions were about destruction. In one obscure quatrain, Nostradamus speaks of a new age of enlightenment, when men shall see without eyes and speak without tongues. Followers interpret this as a prophecy of the digital age, where technology connects minds beyond physical boundaries. Yet, for every fulfilled prediction, skeptics argue these are all vague coincidences, words molded to fit after events happen. They call it retrofitting, forcing the past to match the present. But what if the patterns are real? What if Nostradamus didn't predict the future, but understood time differently? To him, time was not a line, but a circle. In his final letters, Nostradamus hinted at the year 3797, the end of human civilization as we know it. Some say it's symbolic, the end of an age. Others fear it's literal, a world-ending event. One passage reads, "The heavens shall open, and a great body shall descend. The earth shall tremble, and mankind shall beg the sky for mercy. Scholars interpret this as a meteor strike, a supervolcano, or even an alien arrival. But one thing is certain, Nostradamus wasn't just writing about the end. He was warning about a cycle. Civilizations rise, thrive, and fall, only for the next to begin again. The wheel turns as it always has. For 5 centuries, humanity has tried to decode the words of Nostradamus, searching for meaning, fearing what's to come. But maybe the truth isn't in his predictions, but in our reaction to them. Maybe the real prophecy is us. Because if we keep repeating the same mistakes generation after generation, then Nostradamus didn't predict the future. He simply understood human nature. And if that's true, maybe the next prophecy has already begun. To be continued.